the cameraman. Despite the aid organizations and the pressure of journalists to save him. InterCept on Gaza. Samer Abudaqa, the cameraman of Al Jazeera, who was killed in Israeli airstrike Gaza on December 15. Gaza. Abudaqa was left to bleed at Farhana School in Khan Younis, where airstrike was hit by emergency workers. The Israeli army was aware that an Al Jazeera journalist was helpless. Most of the evidence points to an Israeli strike for Al Jazeera journalists, he added. Abudaqa was at school with Al Jazeera Gaza bureau chief Wael Dahdouh, who had previously been injured in the airstrike. I tried to get up in any way because I was sure that another missile would target us. This is usually one of our experiences, he said. The experienced journalist knew that he needed medical assistance after realizing that his arm was bleeding abundantly, and he stumbled to an ambulance hundreds of meters away. However, Abudaqa was injured in the lower half of his body and could not walk to the ambulance. I couldn't offer him anything, Dahdouh said. Remembering incident, he told the emergency employees to go and save his cameraman when he reached ambulance. Nevertheless, for hours, emergency workers could not reach bleeding cameraman without approval of Israeli army. And Israeli forces fired even as workers tried to approach. Power in numbers. Orly Halpern, free reporter and producer of based in Jerusalem, decided to share Abudaqa's strawberry with more than 140 journalists from Jerusalem-based Foreign Press Association based correspondent who is reporter from more than 30 countries. The members group shared contacts of Israeli army among each other. As members' army needed medical assistance, journalists were trying to get a response from army. As various humanitarian organizations from Palestinian Red Crescent to the Red Cross International Committee did same thing. I thought together with many journalists army. Together with Foreign Press Association, I thought the army could take action knowing we were particularly aware of situation and we would report. Orum I believe there is power in numbers, he said. In evening, Halpern updated the group to share that Israeli army approved a Palestinian bulldozer. However, Bulduzer when he cleared his way to reach Abudaqa. Penalist journalists' punishment since death of Abudaqa. Al Jazeera has been preparing a legal file for International Criminal Court that networks. Journalist says that journalist is assassinated. In the meantime, Dahdort, colleague and wife, 2 sons, daughter and grandson has lost in other Israeli air raids since October 7, but continues to be determined in the report. Targeting and destroying offices such offices Al Jazeera, targeting Palestinian families, as in my family, and target houses in places like my home. Such home. So they know what they aim for. House Al Jazeera President, he said. Intervention. It is clear that all them are in the